Welcome back to part 2 of reading a rarity. My name is Mattie Paige. I am an indie author and this is my poetry book. There are 4 parts to it, so I'll be reading each part in a different video. Please feel free to keep an eye out if you're interested. Part 1 is already uploaded to my channel and part 2 begins now. Let's go ahead and ease on into this. This is the front, A Rarity by Mattie Paige. This tell-all prose and poetry collection depicts the life struggles and hopeful eventual acceptance of being chronically ill. You'll leave this captivating journey with newfound imagery, overwhelming emotional validation, and a new appreciation for the rareness of life. By the way, it's kind of hot in here, so I'm kind of like breathing a little wonky. Bear with me. Hopefully it just adds to the finesse that is this book about cystic fibrosis. But yeah, we'll go ahead and start with part 2. Part 2, growing pains. Their bodies that work. Their lungs pull air in, their hearts pump blood out, their limbs have all their ends, their brains have all their wits. Their bodies that work pull from genes that don't twist and experiences that don't pluck the privilege from their annoyingly good luck. Dichotomy. Just because I'm in high spirits doesn't mean my body isn't in a low place. Our advocacy color, purple. One of my favorite family traditions is attending the CF walk. When I was younger, it was just good fun. For some reason, people paid great attention to me on that day. I always got a free purple t-shirt from the host, and the vendors had tubs of bananas, sodas, donuts, and salty snacks, all free. Looking back, the creators of the fundraiser knew their audience. I didn't grow up knowing the cause of my family's advocacy, why everyone fundraised in my honor months in advance for what seemed like one dreadfully early morning, why we drove an hour away just to walk for what felt like hours while donning matching shirts. Of course, my parents did a phenomenal job explaining the whys, but it didn't click until I was older. I didn't know that the free shirt I got every year was a signal to other CFers. A purple cotton sign to stay at least 6 feet apart so you don't spread infections. I didn't know we needed more research. I didn't know funding wasn't a given, that it was up to those who cared about the efforts to finance it. And my people cared. My grandma's best friend consistently split her donation between my sister and I so we couldn't argue over who raised more. My friends and I performed our choreographed jump rope routine after all of that walking just because it was fun, and they came to support. My brother even came down while he was away at college. It wasn't about the money. Well, not entirely. It was about making memories, about dripping sweat and growing smiles as the group of us crossed the finish line, yelling in glee. Each step our team took was another piece of evidence that people cared about me and my disease. And I love those memories. I do. But I also feel somber, nostalgic, missing the days before I knew how permeating this disease is, longing for the times before I knew what progressive disease felt like. Back then, I could at least pretend I was like other kids, the way I ran around, played, and lived life in multiple colors, not just purple. Now, I don't think I could pretend even if I wanted to, which I don't. It's too stressful to pretend to be something you're not. And I'm tired of showing up like anyone other than who I am. It's just weird that even the happiest of memories have a stroke of disease in them. Flat soda. If I was as I was supposed to be, I'd be a dark liquid in a glass, fizzing with bubbles and beloved by the class. Pop the top off, I'd have enough energy to spew out and have nothing left to refresh. I wish I couldn't contest. I was left out too long, my bubbles turned flat. After this day I had, I can't wait to be poured out on the concrete. Pluto is a planet. Just because I don't meet your criteria doesn't mean we're not worth the same. I'm the smallest of planets, but the greatest of names. You outcasted me because I'm not the same size. For a while, I focused on your system more than mine. It made me feel blue that I couldn't be with you. I cried during my orbit, but my tears never reached you. The oddest of blessings when my tears froze on Eris. We became fast friends through our slower paces. We have many similarities, including our abilities. Big, icy hearts will never drift apart. As you read this poem, I hope you get the theme. It was never about Pluto. It was always about me. Teenage ignorance. We met with the coordinator who took my every wish, comparing all my choices for this once-in-a-lifetime trip. I shared the good news that I've been approved to fly across the world, a check upon my bucket list. Instead of a smile, you frown, like I should be exiled, as if this trip actually makes up for all of my stuff. You forget that on my list was the erased wish that I could be totally renewed, much more like you. I wonder if given the choice, you decided it'd be worth it, rejoice, to switch your life with mine just to prove you could do it and shine. After all, what is my suffering worth, if not your reductive perspective of a free trip? I look all right, right? I look all right. My chest is tight. My mind is itching for a fight. But at least I look all right. I look all right. My stomach pains, my joints ache. But at least I look all right. I look all right. I take more pills than I see light. I've seen more scans with a slight. But at least I look all right. I look all right. I have hidden scars that lace me and memories that take me. But at least I look all right. I look all right. That means the illness that mocks me is invisible. So you can ignore my suffering and the indescribable. Because I look all right, right? By the way, that's sarcasm. I defy. I refuse for life to be a waste. I could never lose face, every minute filled with another goal I killed. Each odd I defied, another stroke to my pride. My teenage years, I only allowed a few tears. I didn't spend my nights rebelling against parental rights. Instead of breaking ground rules, I focused on my refuel, stored up enough to survive the hard stuff. Each plausible defeat felt like I'd succumb to the Texas heat. Losing to the statistics was my greatest fear, forcing my body to achieve like my peers, until my trained lungs shuddered and those clipped wings fluttered. Bullshit from back then. I grew up jealous, incredibly overzealous, using my energy to fit into able-bodied legacies. I got praised for no complaints, pushing through my body's constraints. My grades made up for my lacks, all the while causing cracks. My worth was set in accomplishments. I cried at minor admonishments. In response, I promised to do better while ignoring the consuming pressure. Requests so ridiculous, why did I never question it? Once I got told to stop coughing. It silenced me so good I felt my heart throbbing. Begging for accommodations, fighting adults during negotiations. Legally, I deserved it, but minimal resources denied it. Imagine 90 degrees, no AC, and a lung disease. I could have sued, but I hadn't wanted to pursue. I couldn't push it for fear I would lose it. I couldn't disrupt their perception of me, for it would have meant their rejection of me. I was the classic misunderstood teen with the misrepresented disease. It was invisible, so I had to be invincible. Didn't you used to be better? What drove me was the need to be accepted, to defy the odds that my body should have lived up to. I used to run on your approval. Now even that is not enough to push through. You expect certainty because I used to be, but I've spiraled. I'm not what I once was. Just like you, we both progress. My disease worsens, like your understanding. My ability is affected, even if you don't see it. The impact of a wish. I owe a new perspective to my wish granters. The idea that life has something to miss, that once upon a daydream could become a dazzling reality, even with my impending mortality. Those memories are more than just a cross through on my bucket list. Like the stamp on my passport, they forever brand my heart. A beautiful part of my story written came a removal of prior inhibitions. A flight to a new land, they played for the whole plan. A tour through an ancient cathedral to look above Dublin from the view on oh my goodness, sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. To look above Dublin from the view of an eagle, I still remember how tranquil. For this place full of history made me excited to have a future, that maybe what life I have is worth living, even with the sickness. Claire Wineland. I first learned of Claire Wineland in my living room, doing my best. Elated to find her on TV, wearing it on her chest. A person my age living her life, winning an award for putting up a fight. Even if Claire hadn't won those awards, I still would have been impressed with all the strengths she possessed. Candor, humor, and wit. How I love people going through it. She was the first I had seen living this belief that quality of life is worth the dichotomy of striving while you are dying. I hadn't realized how important it was for CF people to share their voice, but now that I hear her words ringing through my head, calling us to live, I can say she inspired me to write this. Claire Wineland, empowering the masses, no matter what happens. A huge thank you to Claire's Place Foundation for their continuing support of the CF community and for the opportunity to include Claire in this collection. Modulators. My genes created a melody by plugging mucus in my lungs to the rhythm of my heartbeat and the bass of my tongue. The dominant wanted a ballad, but the recessive one. Thus, a cacophony was born of the hour I was. Those discordant mutants wrapped around like a sieve, affecting my whole piece, plucking chords from the minor D. Until gene therapies joined the chorus, a joyous uptick in tempo burst a majestic symphony with beautiful major keys. Modulators regulate my body's harmony and hope, making my life flow like a river, my mucus no longer front and center. I think I need to stick one. Oh no, okay. I'm just 18. I'm just an 18-year-old trying to manage cystic fibrosis. I'm just an 18-year-old trying to pack my vest. I'm just an 18-year-old trying to find a local pharmacy. I'm just an 18-year-old meeting my new care team, feeling young and naive for wanting a lollipop. I'm just an 18-year-old realizing this is a lot. Thankful that I had a mom who handled it all for so long, and a dad who worked hard to support my life, all his own. And that concludes part 2 of A Rarity. So I realized I didn't do this earlier, but a rarity is basically a poetry and prose collection about living with a chronic illness, specifically my experience with cystic fibrosis. No matter if you have CF or you don't, this book may or may not look like your life. And I just hope that you guys can use this as an opportunity to have empathetic conversations to greater understand people around you. So yeah, if you enjoyed the time here today, please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all of the things. If you would like to buy a rarity, it is available wherever you buy books, including ebook if that's your thing. Let's see, I'm not sure if there's anything else. Oh, you can find me on social media under, it's for Instagram and TikTok under author Mattie Paige. Thank you for your time today. Hope you have a lovely day. Bye-bye.